Hello, How She Quits community. It's Lori Mercer. And last week, it wasn't even last week, it was just a few days ago, time flies. I was talking to one of our members about what she wants to do outside of her day job. You know, she knows she wants to be working from home. She knows she wants to be more available to her kids. She has some passions, some things burning inside her. And I was talking her through, well, what is it that you're going to sell? What do you want to sell? Because we can have all these passions inside of us and we can Facebook post all day long, but if we're replacing our day job, we have to have an income coming from somewhere, right? So I quickly summarized for her 7 different products or services that you can sell when you're running your own business. And today I want to come back and kind of run through those quickly and give you a little bit of a pros and cons list for each one. I'll just tell you it's going to be a little bit biased because one of those is way hotter than the others as far as how quickly it can get you out of your corporate job. So that post, I will link to it in the comments. That post, item number 1 was info products. So we all think we're going to build something and they will come and it'll just be evergreen money, recurring income, on and on and on. Okay, some people win the lottery and get really lucky and they've got a very sticky name and a very good SEO ranking and all those things. Trust me, they have worked their tail off for those. They probably had 792 failures before they got to that one that was a huge success. That's just churning money for them overnight. It can happen. Don't lose hope of that dream. Just know that that's the game you're playing. And info products like DIY videos, worksheets, ebooks, online courses. Generally, when I'm hearing people talk about those, they're lower dollar, right? Like 37, 47, 97, maybe 147. You can get up to the $500 course price, but you still, what you need for those is a big audience. You know, if you make $50,000 a year, let's see if I can do math fast. You make $50,000 a year you want to replace, and you sell something that's, let's call it $100. I'm going to get my calculator and cheat. You need to sell how many of those per year to replace your income? We won't even talk about expenses yet. We'll just do it this way. 500. I get my zeros messed up, so I'm going to make sure it was not 50, not 5,000. It's 500. You need to sell 500 of those. To sell 500 of those, how many eyeballs do you think need to be in front of that product? At least, put 2 more zeros behind it, right? 50,000. Like if you're getting a 10% conversion rate, which is actually pretty good in purchase, in purchasing a product, you need that product in front of 50,000 people to sell 500 at $100 each to make $50,000. And that's probably a pretty ideal situation. So I'm not saying to lose that idea. I'm just saying that's the longer game. You're building up a big audience. You're putting a lot of money into advertising and a lot of effort really into playing the online marketing game. And I don't think that's what is the strength of most of you ladies who are working in corporate and wanting to have a more flexible work from home job. Okay, item number 2, a book. A lot of people say, I want to write a book, I want to write a book. Okay, I've written a book. I'm working on a second right now, actually. And a book typically is a loss leader, okay? It means that somebody becomes an expert in their domain and they write a book, author a book, and that book is basically just a really, really magnificent business card that's out there, you know, on Amazon and all those places that shares their story, that shares the value, that shares the solution that they're bringing. Books in and of themselves typically don't make a lot of money. Where people make money is by selling their services, selling their speaking engagements out of the book, okay? So keep writing a book on your bucket list because it was on mine and I'm so glad I did. Like I'm a little bit addicted to the book writing process now. It's really fun, but it's not also the short game to get you out of corporate, okay? That's not probably it's going to be what propels you out of your day job. The third thing is speaking engagements. Now this has some potential, right? If you are a speaker and you love this and you're starting to build an audience, you can absolutely make good money in speaking engagements. I mean, like good money, right? Like there's people getting paid $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to speak on stage. Even if it's just a couple $1,000s and your travel expenses are covered, right? Like a few gigs a month and you're good. It does require an audience and PR and to be out there, but a speaking engagement is not a bad path, I think, if that's your gift. Number 4, someone else's product. So being an affiliate. Not bad. I'm an affiliate for this. I don't recommend that you're only an affiliate, right? So like you sort of have to have your own platform and your own followers and your own brand. Like you have to have somebody to market it to be able to make those sales. So consider affiliates, consider partnerships. It's certainly an important way to add value to your clients, to grow your audience broader, not the first card I would play if I was trying to leave my corporate job. Advertising space. So this was the game 5, 8 years ago when I started blogging. Boy, it was the race to how much content can I put out, and can I get sponsors? Can I get, the Google AdWords, all the, Blog Her. I'm part of the Blog Her network and all those kinds of blogging things. There are definitely people making big money doing that. My answer to that is that it's a much harder game right now than it was 5 to 8 years ago when the blogging world was newer, okay? So again, it's a long game, it's a long play, whether you're doing it on a podcast or a blog or even if you're doing events, trying to sell sponsor space. If you're a real PR-ish kind of person, a real connector, real relationship person, and you've got those relationships built where you can get people to sponsor things, like you have this brilliant idea and it's gonna like change the face of childhood cancer, or I don't know, anything, pick some really meaningful cause and you can get backers behind you, then by all means go for that route. But again, it's not the fastest path I would recommend to most of us who are in our corporate day jobs and looking for a way out. Physical products, fun. I mean, oh my gosh, anybody can sell anything on Amazon, right? Like we have fun playing on Let Go. I mean, it's eBay. eBay's still a viable option, but Amazon, eBay, there's a lot of ways to do this. If that's your thing, then just know that it's going to require a heavier infusion of capital up front, and also the same kind of things I talked about with info products and speaking engagements and the advertising platform. Like you need a lot of eyeballs on your stuff, right? By the way, Shopify, totally my favorite platform, my favorite e-commerce platform. And I'll recommend another program in here. I have a great guy who teaches e-commerce stuff. I have some entrepreneur female friends who are just crushing it in the e-commerce world, but it's the long game, right? So they are doing a little bit of what I'm getting to next, the bread and butter, the way you're going to propel yourself most quickly out of corporate. They're doing a little bit of that product offering to keep the cash flow running monthly while they build up their e-commerce platform. Okay, so now what I think is the #1 most important and effective way to take you from your day job to a work from home, flexible, self-employed kind of lifestyle faster than anything is a services business. Okay, so there's lots of services. This defines a lot of things. It could mean being a VA, a web developer, a bookkeeper, a copywriter, a coach of a consultant, coach, advisor. Let's throw those words all in together. I know I'm missing a few: project manager, HR, legal, like all those professional fields. Okay, there's never been a time more primed for people to be looking for part-time flexible work. And they don't care where they are, right? I mean, we're hiring a ton of people out of Asia and Middle East and just Africa, like wherever they're working, right? We want a talent at a good price and good turnaround and efficiency in our business, okay? And the tools like this, I mean, look at this video. Like, it's amazing, right? I talk like this to my team all across the world every single day. And it allows me as a business owner and all the other business owners out there to pick the best employee out there, okay, to go find the skill set that we need and to pay them good money because they're the best at what they're doing and they're efficient and they're going to change the face of my business, okay? So a client services based business is absolutely what I recommend, is the fastest path from your day job into a work from home business. And the formula is simple. Get 1 client, get 2 clients, get 5 clients, figure out how many you need to make that leap, and you're there. And I have seen people do it cold turkey, like boom, I'm leaving now, and now I've got all the time in the world to build up my client list. And I have seen people do it while working their corporate job, like become a VA in 3 months. We just posted that blog post out on our page. So that to me is the #1 fastest path out of your corporate job. And you don't have to stay there forever, right? Like you get into this client services work, you get a bunch of clients, you build a big network, you get a lot of experience in using all these online tools. And then you can still be dashing off into one of those other product offerings that we talked about, right? Info products, writing a book, having speaking engagements, hosting events, or having an e-commerce platform, right? Coaching, let me talk about that for a second. So coaching is slightly different because it's not like you're taking your corporate professional skills. It's not like you can go out to flexjobs.com, which I highly recommend, and find people who want a coach, right? So you kind of find your coaching clients in a different angle, but it's still a way to run a services-based business. So we'll talk about coaching a little separately, but it's definitely a viable. But all of those corporate skills that you're sitting on right now that you don't really hate, like you're good at it, that's why they hired you, you're just tired of doing it in a cubicle. And you want to do it like here in your home office where you can wear your slippers. Hello, slippers. I always wear my slippers every day. And really exit that corporate role as fast as possible. All right, that's the secret. That's the 7 products you could offer and the fastest path that we can get you out of your corporate job. Bye, ladies. We'll talk to you with some more tips on how to quit. I don't know when I'll be live again. Tell me when you want to see me and we'll be back. Have a great day.